Welcome to How to Retire on Time, a show that answers your questions about all things retirement, including income, taxes, Social Security, healthcare, and more. This show is an extension of the book How to Retire on Time, which you can grab today on Amazon or by going to www.howtoretireontime.com. My name is Mike Decker. I'm the author of the book How to Retire on Time, but I'm also a licensed financial advisor, insurance agent, and tax professional, which means when it comes to financial topics, we can pretty much cover it all. So that said, please remember this is just a show. Everything you hear should be considered informational, as in not financial advice. If you want personalized financial advice, then request your wealth analysis from my team today by going to www.yourwealthanalysis.com. With me in the studio today is my colleague, Mr. David Franson. Thanks for being here today.
Yes, glad to be here.
David's job is reading your questions, and I'm going to do my best to answer them. Now, you can send questions in at any time by texting them to 913-363-1234. Again, that's 913-363-1234. Or email them to heymike@howtoretireontime.com. Let's begin.
Hey, Mike, if I move out of the country, will I still receive my Social Security benefits?
Oh, this is a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people will move out of the country just because there's a cheaper cost of living, whether it's Mexico or Dominican Republic or pigs. Think of pigs. Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain. Those are all great, the pigs countries.
Wow, love that.
Yeah, a lot of economists refer to the pigs for economic reasons, but there's a reason for that. There's cheaper cost of living in many of the parts of those countries. And so a lot of people will retire temporarily or in perpetuity in many of these places. Argentina was another popular one. So anyway, does your Social Security, the quick answer is yes, as long as you remain a U.S. citizen. That's the simple answer. There's all sorts of nuance with it, but generally speaking, yeah, as long as you are paying your U.S. taxes, you're a U.S. citizen, you maintain a residency here of some sort, you'll probably keep getting your benefit. Now, many people don't realize that if you're not a U.S. citizen, you actually still can qualify for Social Security. So if you are a resident, permanent residence, you're here for green card for work, and you've qualified, so you've worked 10 years roughly, or you received 40 credits, you would qualify to receive Social Security. And the quickest way to know is, are you paying FICA tax? Basically, the Social Security tax. If you're paying into it, then you're going to get a benefit if you qualify. So in those situations to where you're not a U.S. citizen, and maybe you worked here, you had your career here, and then you moved back home, wherever that might be, then it may be restricted. So when I say restricted, they may give you maybe 6 months of your benefit, and then it stops because you're not here, you're not a citizen here, and so that's where there's some potential nuance with it all. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. Something to look at, you can Google this, U.S. International Social Security Agreements. Okay, I'll say that one more time, U.S. International Social Security Agreements. And by the way, we are a podcast. You can just search for the show, How to Retire on Time, and listen to this episode over and over again. But since the late 1970s, the United States tried to kind of establish basically how to maintain Social Security benefits and programs with other countries. And so you can look up those countries and kind of see, okay, these countries are more congruent with Social Security, and it may be more lenient there. And you've got Italy, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, Norway, Canada, United Kingdom, Sweden, Spain, France, Portugal, Netherlands, Austria. The list goes on and on. Many of the prominent countries, the ones that you just would recognize, Australia, Japan, Denmark, Czech Republic, Poland, Hungary, Brazil, you go down the list. Iceland.
I love the Iceland's on there.
Iceland's such a beautiful... I've never been there. I've just seen pictures, right? Walter Mitty.
Bucket list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Gotta go.
There are many countries that still can support the benefits that even if you're not a U.S. citizen, probably you'll still maintain your benefits. Do some research. Look up U.S. International Social Security Agreements, and don't leave money on the table. That's
what if you're like a dual citizen situation?
That's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you maintain U.S. citizenship, then you should be okay. Now, that said, policies can change, so stay on top of it as you're preparing for your retirement. Social Security is under some financial stress. There's all sorts of ways they could change things, and I don't want to be fear-mongering in that sense. It's just you put a plan together, and you give yourself enough flexibility to adapt along the way. If you're listening right now and you're going, gosh, there's a lot about Social Security I probably don't know. Yeah, I know my benefit. I know how much I'll get at full retirement age, but I really don't know how to optimize my Social Security. If you want to run a proper analysis, not the how do I get the most out of Social Security analysis, because that actually could hurt you overall. There's a ripple effect on when you file and how it affects the rest of your plan. But if you want to see a proper retirement analysis, a proper Social Security analysis, request it right now by calling 913-363-1234. Again, that's 913-363-1234. And then we'll have a fun conversation, understanding your lifestyle and legacy goals, and then run at no cost your Social Security analysis, basically when to file in congruence with your tax strategies, your income strategies, and so on. That's all the time we've got for the show today. If you enjoyed the show, consider subscribing to it wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for How to Retire on Time. Discover if your portfolio is built to weather flat market cycles, or if you're missing tax minimization opportunities that you may not even know exist. Explore strategies that may be able to help you lower your overall risk while potentially increasing your overall growth and lifestyle flexibility. This is not your ordinary financial analysis. Learn more about Your Wealth Analysis and what it could do for you, regardless of your age, asset, or target retirement date. Go to www.yourwealthanalysis.com today to learn more and get started.